Hi and welcome to this transmission. I'm called today to explain about an energy update that is taking place for all of us and mostly for the Divine Feminine, but not only. The reason of this transmission is the Sacral Chakra Activations and attunements that take place, and I will start with explaining what is an activation of a chakra, of an energy in a chakra, and how it actually plays out in the physical for us. An activation is a familiarization of an energy, getting to actually receive the update, the upgrade, the download, however you want to call it, of a specific energy into our system, into our light body, into our own energy system. So, whatever new is taking place usually takes place collectively for most of us, depending on the path we've chosen as souls, as beings, and the sacral chakra activations that take place now have been experienced so far like this. So there was a moment, at least for myself, that I felt completely open in all my chakras and a beautiful flow inwardly, outwardly, from above, from below, very balanced, very centered, very aligned. More specifically, this is how usually the activations take place. This is why I'm explaining how I experienced it, because this is how you can also reflect on your own energy, how it felt, how you experienced it yourself. So what I felt in my sacral chakra is a full openness in so many ways, and a huge burst of creativity, of sexual energy, of course, too, and being in full alignment with my own desires, with my own goals and aspirations in so many ways that I couldn't even experience. So when an activation takes place, at the beginning we feel and experience this beautiful burst of energy within us, and if it is specifically connected to a chakra, you can feel the openness and the expandedness of that chakra. This is how we also experience the heart chakra activation and expansion. A beautiful energy like, I love everybody and everything is so beautiful and love is so magical. And this is actually how we experience the heart chakra activation. Similarly, for the sacral chakra, I already explained a bit how it felt like for me, and I'm pretty sure you may have felt something similar to that extent, if not something very specific, or in that case. And the truth is, after that activation, the upgrade we receive, and that beautiful feeling of expansion, what comes next is the purge. And this is a necessary stage because we have a lot to purge. Either we like it or not, we have things to shift and change and transform within us. So what came up for me as a purge was minor annoyances within my friendships, my intimate connections, my friends, yes, my family as well. Even with clients, sometimes things I've tolerated and I haven't been in a space of integrity and authenticity fully integrated in my system while something is taking place. And I'm gonna take it now more generally for the collective. This is part of the purge we are going through, and it is important for us to embrace this stage of purging. It is important because we clear out stuff we've suppressed in so many ways before that we weren't even able to acknowledge the suppression that was taking place. So, whatever you are going through, whatever is changing and shifting for you, remember that it is part of the purging that is taking place, especially in the sacral chakra, because whatever you are clearing out, whatever you are integrating and embracing within yourself, when it comes to yourself, you are actually opening up in a new space of being within self, which fortifies you, your connection with yourself, your connections with others, and that is a crucial stage for every spiritual path, no matter what you are embracing, no matter where you are at, what you want to expand in which direction. And let's explain a bit how that purge can look like for everyone. So minor annoyances you haven't allowed yourself to feel and communicate before. Things that are bothering you in others. This is part of the sacral chakra, how you feel about stuff that have to do with yourself, about communicating everything from your emotions, how these things make you feel about. Now, you may have experiences where you have to actually face yourself and admit to yourself that what you are doing in your free time, in your work area, with your friendships and your relationships of any sort, may not be in alignment with you. And that is something you may have suppressed for so long that it is time for you to integrate and step into your sovereignty by communicating your truth, that this no longer serves me, this doesn't make me happy, it doesn't feel exciting anymore. And we go through these stages over and over again in so many ways that we just have to recognize when an aspect of our lives or a situation of experiences in our lives comes to a saturation point where we just have to shift and admit to ourselves that, yep, I've had that experience, I'm full of that experience, I need a change, and yes, it may dissatisfy some of your closest people, and that's okay, although it is difficult when you go through that stage, but you have to embrace what makes you happy at this point of time. What else may come up? A lot of reflection, self-reflection on moments of the past where you can look back and see a different perspective of things, how you used to see and perceive these situations, and now you have a different idea, a different perspective on how to observe these situations from the past, from your life. You may have a deeper understanding of why you reacted like that in some particular occasions, and I want you to embrace that, because embracing yourself, even what makes you feel less than or what made you feel jealous of someone about something, you have to embrace those moments without guilt and without shame, because that is important at this stage. Most of the times we don't want to look back because of these uncomfortable feelings that we may have by reflecting in the past. We don't recognize part of our truth because we add extra guilt on these situations. So what you can do and handle this as best as possible is to remove the factor of guilt and shame and just admit to yourself some truths of how you feel. It doesn't mean it is the truth. If I felt like a dick because I behaved like that, and I'm sorry for my language, I have to admit to myself that I felt like that because of my behavior. It doesn't mean that I am indeed that. I'm not gonna repeat it, okay? But admitting how you felt about yourself, about situations, about things that have happened, even what we perceive as something negative, labeled as very negative, that will help massively, because you are getting into a space of just admitting to yourself how you felt about a specific situation. Even if it is negative, I repeat that again, please feel free to do it without any labels, without any extra pressure that I have to admit that. No, you don't, but it is okay, and it takes a lot of courage, a lot of bravery, a shift of mindset actually, to be in a space of admitting that made me feel as if I am an ass to someone, okay? And it is okay to apologize even to that person. It is normal. It is beautiful. It opens up more of your heart chakra. It opens up your throat chakra because you are expressing something, and it helps you realize a lot about yourself and how you can admit your truth in ways that are perceived as painful. They are not exactly painful. You are humbling yourself, You are reminding to yourself that you are a human being. You are allowed to your anger. You are allowed to feel frustrated on others, on yourself. And this is where the sacral chakra starts opening up in a huge and beautiful way, by being vulnerable and being okay with that vulnerability, by sharing that vulnerability with others, which makes again a huge difference for you. It fortifies your connections, it helps them to become stronger in a way that is beneficial for all parties involved. So in that space, I'm calling you to embrace everything that is being shaked off your system at this point, and that's okay. Go with how and what feels like right at this point, and just be yourself with all your emotions. My advice is not to get lost into these emotions. For those of us who have a very strong sacral chakra, sometimes we lose ourselves into all these emotions. It's a good reminder for you to experience the emotion and let it flow through your system, through your process system actually, of emotional process, mental process, of everything, and let it flow in and out. We are not attaching ourselves to something specific, and please at this stage don't get to the mindset of putting a label on yourself. We are releasing, we are acknowledging first the emotions, we are releasing them in whatever way makes it easier for you, and we are getting into a space of embracing more of our shadows, more of our light, which are both very important for a soul growth that takes place. And please feel free to be yourself, no matter how hard it may feel like it at the minute, because in that space you are growing. You are growing emotionally, you are growing and expanding mentally in so many beautiful ways that it doesn't look like it. Believe me, I know, but later on you will be proud of yourself. You will be proud about the breakthroughs you've had and how you are shifting and changing. Let me know in the comments how it feels like for you lately. I know we had the full moon. I know we have a lot of planets around us that are shifting a lot of energies for us, but we can take it as a huge opportunity to grow and expand, or we can blame the planets, of course, because they are getting in alignment, and we can blame the universe and we can blame everyone else around us, but it's not beneficial, it's not productive. And if you are in that space, do it for a second, release that emotion. I've been there, I've done that, probably I will again do it, but don't stay in that space. Go deeper, explore your feelings and ask questions to yourself, because this is the best space to ask questions about why do I feel like this? Why did I react like that? What is going on? What was I picking up? How this reaction came up to happen? Because in that space of asking questions, you get to see deeper of who you are. You get to recognize some deeper knowings that you haven't admitted to yourself so far. Even if your reactions were fully justified, even better, because you are getting into a space of expanding your awareness by asking more questions, by realizing a lot more about yourself, and it helps. Believe me, it helps. And in that space, you can change and shift in so many ways that if you don't do this kind of work, you can't understand fully. So I'm calling you to go within and do that self-reflection. It helps a lot, guys. Be curious about yourself. Be curious about your reactions, your emotions, your thoughts. The more curious you are, the more you expand your awareness, the more you understand yourself, the more you understand others, which is important. We are here to co-create with each other and with the universe, the source. and it is all an experience. Don't attach any labels if it is a bad experience, if it is a negative experience. I get it if you feel like going back home, whatever that home feels like to be. I've been there, done that. It doesn't work. And what helps massively is to focus on what is going on now within yourself, with the system you have around you, of support, of friends, of family, of colleagues, and focus on how you want to feel from now on, because when you have a goal, believe me, everything happens easier and faster. Intentions matter a lot. And be curious, how would an expanded, healthy, balanced sacral chakra would feel like? When you get to that space of asking these kind of questions, you are getting to experience that, and everything else is shifting and happening for you without needing to put too much work in it. That said, if you would like to work with me on a private way, please do reach out through my site. You can book a session. I would love to support you and be there for you. And if you have any questions, please drop them below. It will be my joy, and it will make me happy to see more of you interacting with these videos and sharing your truths vulnerably. It will be lovely to help you and support you on your path. Love, Elena, and I will see you again on the next videos, because I'm in the flow of recording some stuff. I think they need to get out there one way or another at least. So see you on the next recordings.